Hello everyone, this is AJ and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another movie review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the 2004 movie Seed of Chucky. Let's get into it. Okay, so Seed of Chucky is the fifth movie in the Child's Play franchise. It came at us here in the UK in May of 2005, although in the US it was 2004. Like I said, fifth movie in the franchise. The TV series is starting soon, and thusly I've had a renewed interest in this film series. I thought I'd go back, watch everyone, review them. This being my fifth review, and 3 more films to go. 2 of this standard franchise and the remake, and then I'm going to be reviewing the TV series as well, and I will be ranking all of the movies, all 8 movies. That includes the remake. Now, this film again is written by Don Mancini, but he's also on directing duties as well. The film was given a low budget of 12 million, so that's on par with, or even slightly less than 2 and 3. It went on to make 25 million, just shy of 25 million at the box office worldwide, US dollars. So it would have made a profit, a little return for the studio. The film sees the return of Jennifer Tilly as Tiffany and herself. We'll get into that in the story. And Brad Dourif, obviously, as Chucky. Billy Boyd from Lord of the Rings. He voices Glenn, the child of Chucky. Yes, the child. Hence the name Seed of Chucky. If you remember at the end of the 4th one, you're left on a closing credit where the baby attacks that copper. So this film opens in England. It catches up with the child of Chucky. At this point, he hasn't got a name. He's just referred to as Shitface. That's his name. Now, he's a ventriloquist's dummy, a ventriloquist, or a guy had found him in America in the grave where Chucky and Tiffany died, and taking him back to UK and using him as a dummy as a ventriloquist. But the dummy, he comes to be known Glenn, so I'm going to refer to him as Glenn. I'll come into that as well. He's has bad nightmares all the time of killings and this sort of thing, and doesn't understand why. He doesn't know where he's come from. Now we shift to America, and we get an appearance by Jason Fleming in the role of Santa Claus, who ends up being killed by Chucky. Only it turns out to be a film set, film studio. He's not dead. They're making a Child's Play film, a Chucky film. Jennifer Tilly is starred in this, is in this production within this film. She's playing herself in it, a sort of a caricature of herself. Yeah, and the Glenn sees Jennifer Tilly in an interview on TV with the Chucky doll, comes to realise that he's related to this, and heads off to America, sort of dispatches himself to America, to Hollywood, to find his parents. He finds the 2 dolls, and using the amulet that he has on his person, he brings them back to life. Subsequently, they then go after Jennifer Tilly because they have this again this need to use human bodies and transfer their souls back into human bodies. So you're treading on this sort of territory again. This is getting old. Anyway, that's pretty much the story in a gist. You got the doll itself, Glenn, who's unsure of his identity, his sexual identity, his gender, whether he's male or female. So he shifts from the name Glenn to Glenda. They have arguments, the Tiffany and Chucky, over whether it's a boy, whether it's a girl, this sort of thing. So let me tell you my thoughts on this film. Okay, this is probably one of my least revisited Chucky films. I say that, I've never even revisited. I've seen it once, years and years ago when it first came out, obviously 15 years ago, 16 years ago, and I recall not liking it. After Bride of Chucky, which was a high for the series, you then get this. This film is the one that's in the most bad taste. There's a lot of humour to be had in the film. The film does again focus around the two dolls primarily. They're your main attraction. They're not just killing, they're interacting, they're joking, this sort of thing. And like I said, there are laughs to be had when the two dolls are first introduced to the Glenn doll. They're laughing about the way he looks. Chucky laughs at his name, then faints when he finds out that it's their kid. This sort of stuff. So there's a lot of humour to be had. The first third of the film, the first act, is pretty good. You know, second and third act, it kind of dwindles off a bit. It becomes very set bound in that it's set within Jennifer Tilly's home, within the context of the story of the film. So it's a very sort of meta film. It's very self-aware. Again, it's, you know, it's a bit odd that you have, you know, Jennifer Tilly played a character in the last one, and now in this one she's playing herself. And you have the doll of Tiffany, who's starstruck about Jennifer Tilly. You have the doll of Chucky, who's a bit upset that his son doesn't want to follow in his footsteps of killing, this sort of thing. Now, when I say this film is in bad taste, it gets into themes of rape, of basically you have scenes where Jennifer Tilly's bound down. You've had the young Chucky doll, not the young Chucky doll, you had Chucky himself masturbating into a cup, and Tiffany proceeds to artificially inseminate Jennifer Tilly. Jennifer Tilly does become pregnant and thusly has a couple of children. So you've got themes of this in it. Obviously you have themes of gender confusion and all this sort of thing. And given the society that we live in today and how big a subject gender is and this sort of thing, the film back then is touching on something that I don't know that it would get away with now. You know, you've got the reason this doll is confused about its gender is because when they pull down its trousers, it's got no tackle of any kind. It's a doll. Do you know what I mean? It's like that. So there, Chucky's saying it's a boy. Tiffany's saying it's a girl. You know, you get scenes where the boy doll is dressed up as a girl later on with all makeup on and is crying because it's confused, this sort of thing. So yeah, it's I suppose in that sense it's kind of saying stuff ahead of its time. I suppose it depends on how you want to go in and view this sort of stuff. You could view it as taking the mick out of this, or having a laugh about it, or having a commentary on it that, you know, makes you feel sorry for people of that ilk, shall we say. I'm treading into territory now where I'm going to get criticised big time. Do they need feeling sorry for? Probably not. They probably say no. Because anyway, not going down that road. It confuses me no end. Anyway, so yeah, all in all, like I said, that the first act of the film was fine. There were some laughs to be had, and I started watching it and thinking, you know what, this isn't as bad as what I remember it being. But ultimately, by the end, it probably is at the moment the worst in the franchise as rewatching goes. Yeah, not very good at all. Like I said, there are moments of levity that I did enjoy, but on the whole, yeah, Don Mancini directing. I feel that his directing was fine. There's some lovely looking shots. The scene with Jason Fleming in the snow as Father Christmas at the beginning, that looked lovely. By the way, Jason Fleming, he doesn't like to talk about this film. He doesn't like it. He says it's the worst film, and he would like to take it off of his resume of films. There you go, that's what he thinks of it. But yeah, so the problems are in the writing for the film, I feel. It just went down that bad taste territory, and yeah, that's the primary issues with the film that I have. Anyway, that was it. Quick little talk about this film. I'm getting going now, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. I may tomorrow well have the first episode review up of the Chucky TV series, and then proceed with the next few films. But anyway, this is AJ. Thank you for watching, and come back again, and I'll see you soon. Take care. All goodbye.